Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We are present here today for the pre-bid conference for goods and services under invitation to bid number 2026-001. This pre-bidding activity is in accordance to Republic Act 12009 or the new Government Procurement Act. We are live via YouTube in compliance to Section 38 of the IRR of RE 12009. Video recording of all procurement-related conference for competitive bidding to enhance the transparency of the procurement process. And in accordance to the Department Order Number 06 Series of 2024. This conference will discuss, clarify, and explain the eligibility requirements and the technical and financial components of the procurement projects, including the questions and clarifications raised by the prospective bidders. Before we proceed, may we request the Secretariat for a roll call and include the acknowledgement of the guests present.
Mr. Vice Chair, good morning everyone.
Good morning.
Attendees for today's activity, pre-bid conference for goods and services. We have here the back members, starting with our Vice Chairperson, Engineer Jeffrey C. Samon.
Present.
Regular member, Engineer Leslie T. Gugito. Present. Provisional member, Ms. Flordy Maitila Saga. Present. From the back secretariat, headed by Engineer Arthur Noel Taylor. Present. Back Secretariat member, yours truly, Argelina Fajardo. From DPWH, headed by Engineer David Berdel G. Palen.
Present.
And DPWH member, Mr. Giancarlo M. Aluma.
Present.
We also have here our prospective leader from Jasper Quezon Computer Center, Mr. Chris John M. Santillan. We would also like to acknowledge the viewers via YouTube. Welcome and good morning. That will be all, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Since the majority of the back members are present, I hereby declare a quorum and call this meeting in order. We have the preset agenda for this activity. Agenda 1. Brief presentation and explanation of the following. A. Basic contract data. A.1. Contract description. A.2. ABC. A.3. Duration. A.4. Other contract details. B. Requirements of bidding documents. B.1. Instruction to bidders. B.2. General condition of contract. B.3. Special condition of contract. B.4. Specification. B.5. Price schedule for goods. And B.6. GPPB standard forms for RE 12009. For letter C, documents to be submitted by the bidders. 1. Technical component of the bid. 1A. DTI or SIC. 1B. Mayor's permit. 1C. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. 1D. Single largest completed contract is LCC, similar to the procurement project. 1E. Audited financial statement, stamp, received by the BIR. 1F. Income tax return of the preceding year filed and paid through the BIR, electronic filing and payment system. 1G. Net financial contracting capacity, NFCC, computation and statement of total asset and liabilities. 1H. Tax clearance. 1I. PhilGIPS Platinum membership. 1J. Bid security. 1K. Technical specification. 1L. Production and delivery schedule. 1M. Warranty certificate, if applicable. 1N. Brochures, offered equipment, if applicable. 1O. Omnibus sworn statement. 1P. Secretary's certificate and board resolution, if applicable. 1Q. Sworn disclosure of relations and declaration of beneficial ownership. 2. Financial component of the bid. 2A. Bid form. 2B. Bid prices in the price schedule form. D. Criteria and procedure of eligibility check, primary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, status of ongoing projects, and award. 2. Questions, comments from the bidders, and replies of the BAC and other representatives of procuring entity. 3. Other matters. 3A. Section 99. Imposition of suspension of the IRR of RA 12009. 3B. Section 100. Imposition of blacklisting of the IRR of RA 12009. 4. Summary of proceedings, including supplemental and bid bulletins to be issued. Any motion to adopt this agenda?
I move to adopt the present agenda. I second the motion.
It has been moved by Engineer Godito and seconded by Ms. Lasaga, and with no objection, the motion to adopt this agenda is hereby approved. First in the order of business is the explanation of basic contract data, including contract description, ABC, and duration. This will be presented to us by Ms. Lasaga from the administrative section.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Invitation to bid for number 2026-001. Number 1, contract ID 26GLI-001 with PR number 2025-11-078 dated November 20, 2025. Contract name, supply and delivery of fuel, diesel, additives, lubricants, and anti-corrosive for use in the office of the District Engineer, DPWH Davao de Oro, 2nd DEO, Compostela, Davao de Oro. Maharlika Highway, S01475MN, kilometer 1377 plus minus 201 minus kilometer 1417 plus 756, Montevista-DNAS Road, S00130MN, kilometer 1413 plus minus 602 minus kilometer 1432 plus 966, EPA 2026. Contract location, Davao de Oro. Brief description of goods to be procured: fuel, diesel, engine oil 40, fully synthetic, 1 liter per container. Coolant, 500 ml per container. Approved budget for the contract is 2,034,230 pesos and 40 centavos. Source of funds, GAA FY 2026 EL. Delivery date of goods, 20 calendar days. Cost of bid documents, 5,000 pesos. Number 2, contract ID 26GLI-002 with PR number 2025-11-079 dated November 20, 2025. Contract name, supply and delivery of printer consumables for use in the office of the District Engineer, DPWH Davao de Oro, 2nd DEO, Compostela, Davao de Oro, EPA 2026. Contract location, Davao de Oro. Brief description of goods to be procured: developing DB619, developing unit DB216, developing unit DB315 black, developing unit DB315 cyan, developing unit DB315 magenta, and 44 other items. Approved budget for the contract is 6,178,683 pesos only. Source of funds, GAA FY 2026 EL. Delivery date of goods is 20 calendar days. Cost of bid documents, 10,000 pesos. Contract ID number 3, 26 GLI 003 with PR number 2025-11-080 dated November 20, 2025. Contract name is Supply and Delivery of Common Office Supplies for use in the Office of the District Engineer, DPWH Davao de Oro, 2nd DEO, Compostela, Davao de Oro, EPA 2026. Contract location, Davao de Oro. Brief description of goods to be procured. Accordion envelope, document organizer, long. Ballpoint pen, 0.5 mm black. Battery AA, 4 pieces per pack. Battery AAA, 4 pieces per pack. Binder clip, 1 1/2 inches, 38.1 mm, and 132 other items. Approved budget for the contract is 3,027,031 pesos and 78 centavos. Source of funds, GAA FY 2026 EL. Delivery date of goods, 20 calendar days. Cost of bid documents, 5,000 pesos. That would be all, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Ms. Lasaga, for your explanation of the projects to be procured by the interested bidders. Next in the order of business is the brief explanation of requirements of bidding documents. This will be presented to us by Engineer Lore, Babak Secretariat.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Good morning, everyone.
Good
morning.
To participate and qualify in our procurement activity, interested bidders are encouraged to read the following documents: instruction to bidders, bid data sheet, general conditions of the contract, special conditions of the contract, schedule of requirements, technical specification, price schedule for goods, securities, and other forms as may be required for the contract. Bidders are strongly advised to read each provision, especially in instruction to bidders and general conditions of the contract, whose special instructions are clearly spelled out in the bid data sheet and the special condition of the contract respectively. Bidders are also encouraged to check the price schedule form so that their bid will be responsive to the requirements set forth in the bidding documents. These documents can be downloaded free of charge from the PhilJEPS and DPWH websites. Interested bidders shall pay the applicable amount for the bidding documents not later than the submission of your bids. That's all, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you, Engineer Lore. Next to be presented are the documents to be submitted by the bidders, and this will be expounded to us by Ms. Arjen Fajardo.
Thank you, sir. The following documents should be included by interested bidders in their bids. For number 1, technical component of the bid. 1A, DTI or SEC registration. 1B, mayor's permit. 1C, statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. 1D, single largest completed contract or SLCC, similar to the procurement project. 1E, audited financial statement, stamped receipt by the BIR. Income tax return of the preceding year, filed and paid through the BIR Electronic Filing and Payment System or EFPS. 1G, net financial contracting capacity or NFCC computation and statement of total asset and liabilities. 1H, tax clearance. 1I, PhilJEPS under platinum membership. 1J, bid security. 1K, technical specifications. 1L, production or delivery schedule. 1M, warranty certificate if applicable. 1N, brochure of offered equipment if applicable. 1O, omnibus sworn statement. 1P, secretary certificate and board resolutions if applicable. 1Q, sworn disclosure of relations and declaration of beneficial ownership. And for number 2, financial component of the bid. 2A, bid form in prescribed format in accordance to GPPB Resolution number 03-2025. And 2B, bid prices in the price schedule form. All of the above statements shall include all information required in the PBDs prescribed by the GPPB. Please be reminded that the following documents, omnibus sworn statement, bid form, and bid securing declaration, if you opted to this type of bid security, should be in standard format as per guidelines of Government Procurement Policy Board or GPPB in the resolution number 03-2025. Kindly check the format of the documents you are using to avoid being declared non-responsive pursuant for using unprescribed format. Bidders should submit their documents using a 2-envelope system. It is recommended to fasten the documents only at the top rather than soft or hard binding them. Each document must be clearly ear-tagged and labeled with the name of the document rather than the number or letter listed in the checklist. There should be 3 copies of these documents, 2 sets of original copies, and 1 set of copy 1. The first set of original copy consists of the original copy of the technical component of the bid that should be placed in 1 envelope, and the original copy of the financial component of the bid that should be placed in a separate envelope. These envelopes must be labeled as original of technical component, original copy of technical component, and original copy of financial component, respectively. Both labeled envelopes should be then sealed in a 1 larger envelope labeled as original copy of the bid. The same sealing process applies to the remaining set of original copy and copy 1. Finally, the 2 original copies and the copy 1 of the bid should then be placed in a 1 final envelope and appropriately labeled according to the instructions in the bidding documents. Bidders are encouraged to read Section 18 of the Instructions to Bidders, page 28, to fully understand the sealing and marking of bids. Follow the checklist of the technical and financial document requirements uploaded with the bidding documents for the contract to be bid out. Absence of any required document shall be considered as failure of compliance on the required document and non-compliance of the bid. Affix initial on all pages of the documents. The initial affirms the authenticity of the pages that they are indeed part of the submitted bid documents. Submit your bids personally here in our office. Late bids will not be accepted. Preparation of technical and financial documents of your bids are outlined in Department Order Number 87, Series of 2020. Sealing and marking of bids is also outlined on the said Department Order. Further, on your bid form and price schedule form, type or write legibly. Also, if you are offering a discount in your bid form, please indicate specifically the methodology as to where or which pay item the discount will take effect. Absence of methodology, original amount will prevail. Discrepancies between bid prices, in words and figures, the words will prevail. Bids not addressing or providing or filling out all the required items in the bidding documents, example in the price schedule form, the bid is considered non-responsive and is outright disqualified. Additional instructions on the purchase of bidding documents. If submitting through authorized representative, it must be accompanied by an authorized special power of attorney for sole proprietorship, board or partnership or joint venture resolution with secretary certificate for corporation, partnership, joint venture, or cooperative. The authorized representative shall be required to present a valid government ID and valid company ID. All prospective bidders shall attach to the technical component of the bidding documents a sworn disclosure of relations and declaration of beneficial ownership and general information sheet, clearly identifying the natural persons who ultimately own, control, or benefit from the bidding entity, whether directly or indirectly, through shareholding, voting rights, contractual arrangement, or other means of control. This requirement is in compliance to Rule 15, Disclosure of Relations, Section 81 and Section 82 of the IRR of RA 12009. Prospective bidders have the option to download the sample form of sworn disclosure of relations and declaration of beneficial ownership on the bidding documents or provide a more specific and detailed forms. The Back Secretariat will not be responsible for the failure of the prospective bidders in paying bidding document on time before the bid dropping, due to late arrival and delayed processing of the order of payment. Loss of the order of payment and supporting documents already released or issued is not the responsibility of the Back Secretariat. Always check your documents before submitting the same or end to avoid disqualification of your firm. That will be all, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you for the presentation. To add especially in accomplishing and filling out of the price schedule form. If you opt to computerize the preparation of your price schedule, please use the font style Tahoma and font size 11. This is to make your proposal readable and legible. Additionally, bidders are requested to bring a hard copy for their letter of intent to participate and purchase bid documents during the bidding date. However, only the signatory may cancel and or revise this duly signed letter. Next in the order of the business is the explanation of the criteria and procedure for the eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, status of ongoing projects, and award. This will be discussed to us by Engineer Dave Palin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, for the criteria for eligibility check are set forth in the section 52 of the implementing rules and regulations of RA 12009. All prospective bidders should have a valid and updated Class A legal, technical, and financial documents and Class B documents if applicable. These documents were already discussed a while ago. Preliminary examination of bids shall be conducted in compliance to Section 59 of the IRR of RA 12009 during the opening of bids. The BAC shall open the first bid envelopes in public to determine each bidder's compliance with the documents required to be submitted for the eligibility and technical requirements, as prescribed in the IRR. For this purpose, the BAC shall check the submitted documents of each bidder against a checklist of required documents to ascertain if they are all present, using a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion. As stated in the instructions to bidders, if a bidder submitted a required document, it shall be rated passed for that particular requirement. In this regard, bids that fail to include any requirement or are incomplete or patently insufficient shall be considered as failed. Bidders who pass the preliminary examination of their technical proposal, their financial proposal will be open. All open financial components of the bids shall also undergo preliminary examination. If passed, the committee will read the bid amount stated in the bid form. The BAC shall immediately conduct a detailed evaluation of all bids in accordance to Section 61 of the IRR of the RA 12009 using a non-discretionary criteria in considering the first, the completeness of the bid, and second, the arithmetical corrections. Bids shall then be ranked in ascending order of their total calculated bid prices, as evaluated and corrected for computational errors, and other bid modifications to identify the lowest calculated bid. The lowest calculated bid shall undergo post-qualification in accordance to Section 63 of the IRR of RA 12009 in order to determine whether the bidder concerned complies with and is responsible to all the requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents. If found to be responsive, the bidder will be declared the lowest or single calculated and responsive bid and will be recommended for award of the contract. If found to be non-responsive, the committee will conduct post-qualification to the next lowest calculated bid ranked during the bid evaluation stage. The entries of the original copy of the price schedule form shall be typed or handwritten and be limited to 2 decimal places only and shall be signed by the duly authorized representative. Please take note that since this is under goods and services, we have no system yet for electronic submissions, so the mode of submission of your bid shall be done on manual submission only. Moreover, to all the prospective bidders for this contract for ITB, invitation to bid number 2026-001 for the three contracts, please be informed that this is under the early procurement activity for 2026, EPA 2026. So, it is expected that this contract will be awarded upon or after the approval of the GAA 2026. So that will be all, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. We are now through with Agenda 1 and its subsections. We will proceed to Agenda 2. The questions, comments from the bidders, and replies of above and other representative of procuring entity. Any questions, especially our visitors today from... Okay. Okay, if none, how about our online viewers? Is there any questions?
None so far.
Okay. Any messages? None? Okay. Thank you. If there are no further questions, we will move to the other matters. The discussion of the following. Section 99, imposition of suspension of the IRR of RE 12009, which will be discussed to us by Ms. Lasaga, and followed Section 100, imposition of blacklisting of IRR of RE 12009 as 12009, which will be discussed to us by Engineer Gunito. Then we proceed to Section 99, the imposition of suspension.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. Section 99, imposition of suspension. The Hope shall impose the penalty of suspension for 1 year for the first offense, and suspension of 2 years for the second offense, for any of the following offenses. 99.1, during procurement. A. Causing the delay without justifiable cause of the screening for eligibility, opening of bids, evaluation and post-evaluation of bids, and awarding of contracts. B. Refusing to clarify or validate in writing its bid during post-qualification within a period of 7 calendar days from receipt of the request for clarification. C. Withdrawing a bid or refusing to accept an award, or refusing or failing to enter into contract with the procuring entity without justifiable cause after the approval of the Hope for having been declared LCRB, MEARB, or HRRB as the case may be. D. Refusing or failing to post the required performance security within the prescribed time. Or E. For the renewal of contracts for regular and recurring services, refusal of the service provider to accept the notice of renewal or failure to submit its updated documentary requirements for the renewal of contract without any justifiable reason. 99.2, during contract implementation. A. Delivering goods with unsatisfactory or inferior quality as may be provided in the contract. B. Poor performance by the consultant. Poor performance shall be as follows. 1. Defective design resulting in substantial corrective works in design and or construction. 2. Failure to deliver critical output due to the fault or negligence of the consultant. 3. Specifying materials which are inappropriate, substandard, or way above acceptable standards. Or 4. Allowing defective workmanship or works by the winning bidder being supervised by the consultant. C. Poor performance by the winning bidder or unsatisfactory quality and or progress of work. Poor performance shall be as follows. 1. Negative slippage of 15% and above within the critical path of the project due entirely to the fault or negligence of the winning bidder. Or 2. Non-compliance of the materials and workmanship with the approved specifications arising from the fault or negligence of the winning bidder. Moreover, the bid security or the performance security posted by the entity concerned shall also be forfeited.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
For
morning.
Section 100, imposition of blacklisting. The Hope may impose the penalty of blacklisting consisting of 1 year prohibition for the first offense or 2 years prohibition for the second offense for any of the following offenses. 100.1,
during procurement or contract implementation. A. Commission of 3 or more of any of the acts imposed with suspension as provided under Section 99 of this IRR. B. The use of force, fraudulent machination, coercion, undue influence or pressure on any member of the BOC or any officer or employee of the procuring entity to take a particular action for its own favor or gain or to the advantage of a particular bidder. Or C. In case it is determined prima facie that the winning bidder has engaged before or during the implementation of the contract in the following unlawful deeds and behaviors relative to contract acquisition and implementation. 1. Corrupt, fraudulent, corrosive, and coercive practices. 2. Drawing up or using forged documents. Or 3. Using adulterated materials, means, or methods, or engaging in production contrary to rules of science or trade. 100.2. During procurement. A. Collusion between 2 or more bidders and submitting different bids as if they were bona fide when they know that one or more of them was so much higher than the other that it could not be honestly accepted and that the contract will surely be awarded to the prearranged lowest bid. B. Malicious submission of different bids through 2 or more persons, corporations, partnerships, or any other business entity in which it has interest to create the appearance of competition that does not in fact exist so as to be declared as the winning bidder. C. Entering into an agreement with other bidders which call upon one to refrain from bidding for procurement contracts or which call for withdrawal of bids already submitted or which are otherwise intended to secure an undue advantage to any of the bidders. D. Failure to faithfully disclose its relationship regardless of the time of its discovery with the hope members of the BOC, the TWG, and the BOC Secretariat, the head of the PMO or the end user or implementing unit, and the project consultants of the procuring entity or of the procurement agent, whichever is applicable, by consanguinity or affinity up to the third civil degree pursuant to Section 81 of this IRR. E. Submission of beneficial ownership information containing false entries. F. Using the name of another for purposes of participating in any procurement activity. G. Submission of eligibility requirements and bids containing false information or falsified documents or the concealment of such information that will materially alter the outcome of eligibility screening or any stage of the procurement. H. Unauthorized access of the contents of any bid submitted to the procuring entity before the opening of bids. I. Engaging in any documented and solicited attempt to unduly influence the outcome of the bidding. Or G. Employing schemes which stifle or suppress any procurement activity. 100.3. During contract implementation. A. Assigning or subcontracting the contract or any part thereof or substituting a personal name in the proposal without prior written approval by the procuring entity. B. Willful or deliberate abandonment or non-performance of the project or contract by the winning bidder resulting in substantial breach thereof without lawful and or just cause. Or C. Termination of the contract due to the default or unlawful acts of the supplier, contractor, or consultant. Moreover, the bid security or the performance security posted by the entity concerned shall also be forfeited. That's all, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you. To all prospective bidders, please carefully read all instructions and ensure full compliance to avoid any violation that could result a penalty. and for a more detailed instruction and comprehensive guidelines on the key reminders briefly mentioned. Bidders are strongly encouraged to review the relevant department orders thoroughly. These documents are available for viewing and download on the DPWH website. Now, we will proceed to the last agenda, the summary of proceedings including supplemental bid bulletins to be issued, which will be presented to us by Ms. Lasaga.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. All the needed information were discussed and explained. I would like to remind the prospective bidders to visit from time to time the DPWH and PhilJEP's websites, especially within 7 calendar days prior to the deadline of the submission of bids, for supplemental or bid bulletins to be issued thereat. Please also be reminded that the submission of bids is on or before December 17, 2025, 10 a.m. Late bids shall not be accepted. Bid opening shall be immediately right after the bid submission deadline. So that will be all, Mr. Vice Chair.
Thank you. All of the business in the agenda were already taken into consideration. May I know the pleasure of the body?
I move to adjourn this conference.
I second the motion.
It has been moved by Engineer Godito and seconded by Ms. Lasaga. With no objections, the motion to adjourn this conference is hereby approved. This conference is now adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming.